So perhaps when that problem comes up, you might want to think about arbitration, litigation, or both, or not. Well, you decide. Still to come on the program, some of the trending stories from the courtrooms. But before that, let's bring you our question of the week. On the streets this week, we asked a few people if they are aware of the legal principle in Section 22 of the Criminal Code that provides that ignorance of the law excuses not. A person who is unaware of a law may not escape liability for violating that law merely because, well, they are unaware of it.
Basically, what it means is you have to be more conscious of the law so that you don't fall a victim of being ignorant.
Like one way and all that. If it's not being labeled there that it's one way, there's no how we the people would know. You understand? So thereby now the person will be breaking the law based on the person doesn't know that that is one way. So what would we call that? Would that be ignorance? That can be called ignorance due to the lack of misinformation or lack of information not being spread. You understand?
Yes, I've been hearing about it for a very long time now. And I think it's right because the law is meant for everybody.
Even in the Bible, in the days of ignorance, God overlooked. So I think if you don't know and then you commit an offense, I think it's actually an excuse.
We begin in Lagos, where Justice C.J. Aide of the Federal High Court has ordered the release of the passport of the senator representing Delta North, Peter Nwaoboshi, to enable him embark on a trip to Indonesia. Nwaoboshi was rearraigned before Justice Aide, who took over the case from Justice Mohammed Idris, who was in June elevated to the Court of Appeal. Mr. Nwaoboshi was charged with an alleged fraud of 322 million naira by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission alongside two companies, Golden Touch Construction Project Limited, ABD, and Swimming Electricals Limited. They pleaded not guilty when the charges were freshly read to them. The defense counsel Emmanuel Kachuku urges the presiding judge to allow Nwaoboshi continue with the bail earlier granted by Justice Idris. He also asked the judge to order the release of Mr. Nwaboshi's passport to enable him travel to Indonesia and return on October the 19th, 2018. Aide granted the counsel's prayer and said the passport should be returned to the court's registrar by October the 23rd. Still in the Federal High Court in Lagos, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has remanded in prison the Deputy Chief of Staff to the Senate President, Gbenga Makanjuola, and two others for an alleged 3.5 billion naira fraud. This was sequel to the arraignment by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on an 11-count charge bordering on alleged offence. Makanjuola was docked alongside Melrose General Services Limited and Obiora Amobi. They have, however, pleaded not guilty to the alleged offence. Counsel to the accused, however, pleaded to the court to consider bail application already before the court. The presiding judge adjourned the case for ruling on the bail applications. Also at the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has asked Justice Mohammed Aikawa to dismiss a motion filed by a former Minister of State for Finance, Mrs. Esther Nenadi Usman, seeking to commit the Information Minister Alhaji Lai Mohammed to prison for alleged contempt. In a motion and notice filed through her counsel, the former minister argued that the inclusion of her name on the looters list released by the Information Minister during the pendency of the alleged fraud case against her is contemptuous. The EFCC lawyer Rotimi Oyedepo insists Usman was never referred to as a looter by the Information Minister, saying that what was published by some newspapers only bordered on allegations and cannot be said to be prejudicial to the applicant's case in court. Usman is charged alongside a former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode and Yusuf Danjuma, a former chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, on a 17-count charge bordering on money laundering. They have all pleaded not guilty to the charges. And finally, in Kaduna, the State High Court adjourned the ruling on the bail application filed by the leader of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki. The presiding judge, Justice Gideon Kurada, adjourned the sitting of the matter to November the 7th, 2018, citing insufficient security at the trial venue.
Please feel free to send in your questions and comments on any of the issues we featured today. Do also remember that you can watch this episode and past episodes of the program on our YouTube channel. I'm Millicent Walker. Many thanks for watching.